Hey guys, how you doing? Fragrance Professor back at it again. Thanks for spending part of your day with me. I want to share a little bit about a fragrance that I picked up just in the last month or so, and I was really excited about it because I've always heard of the house and the fragrance that this particular clone is trying to emulate. I don't have any in the collection, and I'd always heard good things about the original, and when I came across a clone from one of the fragrance houses and clone houses that I really like, I thought, wow, I need to get this. And so without thinking too much about it, I went ahead and pulled the trigger. The fragrance that I'm talking about, before I get too much further into it, is Afro Leather from Maison Alhambra, which again, a house that I really like. They're affiliated with Latafa, as you probably know. The OG that it is cloning is something called Memo Paris, that's the house, and the fragrance itself is called African Leather. Now, the bottle of Memo Paris African Leather is very, very similar to this. I was just online and looking around, doing a little research on it before I made the video, and it is almost identical. So these clones and the clone houses, as Maison Alhambra I would consider to be a clone house, they're not really even hiding it anymore, what they're cloning. So they're cloning the juice, which they do an excellent job with 90% of the time, and also the presentation. So I came across this, and again, I think I already said this, but $22 is what I paid for it. And it really does fill a gap or a void in my collection, especially in these cold weather months, and which we find ourselves now. As I record this, we're in January. It's warm, it's spicy, as cardamom, cumin, saffron, all of the warm, spicy, sort of exotic type notes up top. Leather, obviously, but it's not a leather bomb. So you might be thinking, I don't want another leather bomb in my collection. The leather is very mild, in my opinion, and I don't like leather bombs either, to be honest with you, but this is very soft in terms of the leather. So if you like leather but don't like, the quote-unquote leather bomb type fragrances, I don't think you have to worry too much about that. Now, again, I've never smelled the OG. I've never come across Memo Paris, don't have any Memo Paris in the collection, and have never even sampled African Leather, but just standing on its own merit, I would say that this is a wonderful scent, especially for that price point. As I said, $20 is, I think, what I paid for it. I, again, was just online a few minutes ago before recording and did see it still in that low $20 range. So if you could pick it up for under $25, I think you're getting a great, great bargain. This is an EDP, as are all of the Maison Alhambra and Latafa fragrances. I believe it is, let's see, it's probably a 100 ml. I'm looking around. No, it's not quite. It's 80 ml, so it's about 2.75 ounces. A little bit smaller, but that will last you years. You don't need much. Again, this is one that is so spice heavy with some leather down underneath that a little bit does go a long way. Now, in terms of when to wear this, certainly, night would be fine. I think throughout the year, probably colder weather over warmer weather, in my opinion. But, again, wear what you want when you want, but just be a little bit cognizant in terms of where you're going to be later that day and so forth. So there we have it. I'm really pleased with Afro Leather, and I hope that you are too, if you decide to pull the trigger on it. If you have it, I'd love to hear from you down below, or have you come across it? I think it's one that you really, really will enjoy, and that will fill a void, maybe. That's the way I'm kind of looking at this. It's going to fill a gap in my collection. I have so many tobacco fragrances, so many whiskey-based, cognac-based type fragrances, that this, I think, will go a long way toward filling a void. So there we have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Drop me a note down below. Let me know your thoughts. And, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I'd love to have you along for the ride as well. All right, guys, thanks for spending part of your day with me, part of your time. I always appreciate it. And I'll catch you in the next video. All right, bye-bye.